Hey friends! There's a collection of real people that have been featured in Friendship is Magic over the years. Musicians, chefs, performers, historical figures, and even YouTubers. More! So today, we're talking about all of them. Unless I missed one, which I probably did. Importantly, real people doesn't include fictional characters. Obviously, right? I'm making it clear now because there's plenty of characters played by real people that are referenced in the show. Walter White, for example, is in the show, and Walter White was played by Bryan Cranston. But since they reference the character and not the person, he's not on the list. We're only looking at ponies based on real people. Since the definition of real person in the show is kind of broad and up for debate in the comments section, we'll start with characters who are unambiguously just ponified versions of real people. Arguably, the most famous example of this is with Cheese Sandwich, who was designed after Weird Al Yankovic. Cheese not only looks like Al, but is also a goofy party pony who sings polkas, plays the accordion, and has a knack for making ponies laugh. Oh, and he's also voiced by Weird Al himself. That is Weird Al. It doesn't get much more blatant than this. Okay, well, say for Songbird Serenade, who is made to look exactly like Sia, the singer and songwriter. She's got the big bow, the black outfit, and of course the split color bangs covering her face. Songbird is also voiced by her real-life counterpart Sia, just like Weird Al.
I need to set up for my sound check.
It was a pretty clear effort to slap someone famous on the posters in promotion for the movie. Actually, to be fair, they kind of tucked her into the background here. Very similarly to Sia, Lana Hall came onto the show to voice a character designed after herself with Countess Coloratura. This one's a little more interesting than promotion for a movie though. If we hop into our time machines back to the year 2014, we'll get to see how this all went down. At the Tony Awards that year, Lana Hall received the award for Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Musical for her performance in Hedwig and the Angry Inch. It's a bit of a mouthful, don't you think? Anyway, at the end of her emotional speech, she said,
"Friendship is magic." Thank you!
A not-so-subtle reference to a TV show you may or may not have heard of called Friendship is Magic. About 5 months later, she was in the studio recording lines for an episode of the show, as well as a song. 2, actually.
There's 3, actually.
Lena would later confirm that Coloratura was indeed designed after her, specifically her look at the 2014 Tony Awards.
They designed my pony off of a red carpet look that I had, and that's where they got the hair and the idea for it.
Which is just so cool and really ties this little story together so nicely. You can really tell that Lena loved that she got to have this opportunity, and I think everyone loved that episode that she featured in. While Lena Hall voiced RaRa and RaRa's design was based off Lena herself, RaRa was very much an original character that was not necessarily meant to represent Lena herself. Of course, I could be wrong about this, but I think I'm right, so... The only other real people to have voiced themselves in a show are some OCs, specifically Stellar Eclipse and Angel Wings. Both characters were voiced by the very Make-A-Wish kids that had wished to be in the show.
Sorry, girls. Been trading all day. My belly's telling me it's time to eat a note burger.
She's just exaggerating to make a point, right? I mean, wings can't really fall off. Can they?
However, Tabi MLP already made an excellent video talking about all the canon OCs in the show. For now, I'll simply name the characters and the people they were based on. Since we already got these two, we'll skip ahead to this pony from Fame and Misfortune, who is the OC of someone anonymous. Code Red, who's the OC of Adam Benjus, Trusty Splendor, who's the OC of the illustrious Q, Wildfire, who's the OC of Sabrina Alberghetti, Holly Dash, who's the OC for Holly Geisbrecht, Peachy Pit, who's the OC of Erica Pitt, Leadwing, Andy Price's OC, and Bittersweet, Katie Cook's OC, and Midnight Strike, who was designed by one of the show staff's kids. Again, for more info on all of them, you can check out Tabi's video after mine. However, I talked to Tabi, and he mentioned that he actually missed an OC in that video. Blue Peeler is the OC of Michael Vogel, one of the show staff. He appears next to the Charlie Brown pony in the season 5 episode Mean Manhattan.
Good grief.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but since I'm a small YouTuber, this may be the last video of mine that YouTube will ever recommend you. So if you're liking the video so far, you should probably subscribe. Thanks! All this talk of ponified humans is making me hungry. Luckily, there's no shortage of famous chefs who found the portal into the wonderful land of Equestria, all of which were featured in the episode Spice Up Your Life in Season 5. We've got Jamie Oliver, Clarissa Dixon Wright, Kat Cora, Julia Child, Rachel Ray, Mr. Food, Chris Cosentino, and Gordon Ramsay.
Oh dear. Raj! Come here, you. It's raw. It's fucking It's real, okay. You fucking donkey!
All these ponies only ever appear in the background, and as such are based purely on appearance. But I do have to say that they have quite the striking resemblance. There really is no doubt that these ponies are based off who they're based off. That stallion standing right there in Las Pegasus is Gordon Ramsay. And that pony right there is Lerovun. Wait, what?
I've been spotted.
How did you get here?
I happened to be on vacation. I heard about this new convention called Las Pegasus Unicon, so I thought I'd check it out.
Oh, cool. How's it been so far?
Let's actually go out.
Yeah, let's leave the inferno, please.
Well, it's been an interesting experience, that's for sure.
Well, if you're looking for something else to do, you want to help me with my video? We're talking about real people featured in the show.
Oh, sure. I happen to be quite educated on the subject, actually. While we're here in Las Pegasus, let's check behind the curtain to these fabulous ponies. Well, it seems these two are unnamed, actually.
Wait, really? They don't have names?
The credits only call them Trainer 1 and Trainer 2.
You know what I would call them?
I don't know.
Gay.
These two are based off of Siegfried and Roy, performers who were famous for using white tigers and lions in their acts. My Little Pony, in turn, makes reference to their use of these animals by making their act centered around prairie dogs with white striped patterns on their coats. Although they are perhaps more famous for the fact that their tiger named Manticore attacked Roy, nearly killing him in 2003. From that same episode, we also see a new one-off character, Gladmane, whose mannerisms and accent was no doubt inspired by the king of pop himself, Elvis.
It's an honor to have you here.
I'm also guessing his mane that he's so glad about is also inspired by Elvis, but there's not actually any tweet or mention of this, so it's really up to interpretation.
Well, it seems to me that he must actually be some kind of copycat.
What?
Because that's not the only reference to Elvis in the show. Elvis himself actually exists somewhere in Equestria.
What?
In the season 7 episode, Once Upon a Zeppelin, a pony hands, or I guess hooves, I don't know, a pony gives Twilight an autograph book for her to sign. In the book, we see the signature of Elvis Presley.
Wow, this guy is a total fake.
We also see Ben 10, Alan Rickman, Celine Dion, and of course Twilight Sparkle. And now that they've left their angry comments, I must break it to you, that is not Ben 10's signature, but instead the signature of David Bowie. Or maybe it is Ben 10, and he used his watch to transform into David Bowie. Say it with me. But hey, that's just a theory.
Oh no.
What?
That was my trigger word for returning to my own channel. A main theory! It was a main theory! Please subscribe to Lerovun!
Bye, I guess. I hope he's okay. And did anyone else hear FNAF music? Oh, that reminds me. There was also that one time Pinky joined the Beatles.
I joined a traveling band and we played some shows here and there. Got popular, almost made it big until creative differences tore us apart.
The only problem is I don't know anything about the Beatles, so I don't know who she replaced. Look at these guys. They all look the same. Well, except for him. He looks like a vampire. Why is he so evil looking? Okay, I figured it out. John Lennon, Paul McCartney, and George Harrison are all canonical characters in Friendship is Magic. But Pinky replaced Ringo Starr, the drummer. They also didn't include Dark Ringo, often referred to as Rongo. There's a lot of musicians on this list I'm noticing, and we're not even done. According to Vincent Tong, Featherbangs was inspired by Justin Bieber, more specifically Young Bieber with his signature haircut and cheesy pop love song, which I think most, if not all of us who were conscious during 2010 picked up on. We can't forget about Hoofdini either, the pony version of Houdini, arguably the most famous magician to ever do it. This next one has never been confirmed by anyone working on the show, but it's so painfully obvious that her design had some inspiration from a certain somebody. Her name is Gabby. She's a griffin, she's got dark colors, and she's friends with the CMC. I don't know, reminds me of Black Griffin, whose real name is Gabe and is also friends with Claire and Michelle, the voices of Sweetie Belle and Apple Bloom.
Excuse you?
Oh, and if you don't know him, he's this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. Even though nobody officially stated that Gabby is based off of Gabe, it's kinda obvious to literally everyone. When KP did an analysis video on the episode, she had Gabe come on as a special guest, and he had this to say about the situation.
I feel like there were a lot of really blatant references to, well, me. I'm not saying they did it on purpose. I'm not even saying they did it at all. But a griffin named Gabby who's friends with the CMCs and is basically paint dropped straight from my OC? Seriously, I'm not the only one who thinks it's weird. Now, it could have been coincidental and probably was, but I don't know. It's enough to make me wonder. Plus, it's fun to have conspiracy theories. I mean, look at the 2016 election.
Okay, moving on. Surprisingly, he's not the only YouTuber to have some representation in the show, though. Double Diamond, the white guy from Starlight's Village, he was based off of AC Race Best, or Jeff Best, a prominent member of the Brony community.
Is that Tom?
He's best known for hosting Brony's React, but he's also known for his extensive collection of convention blog footage and bringing MLP to demolition derbies. Now, there were actually more YouTuber OCs that were intentionally featured in the comics, but as I know nothing about the comics, I'm gonna stick to the show. It's probably for the best, anyway. Some things are better left buried. Notice how I said intentional, though. We can debate if this counts, but if you ask me, Dr. Wolf appearing on the back of this Equestria Girls DVD is enough. Basically, whoever designed the cover for this DVD case must have gone on Google image search and accidentally picked one of Dr. Wolf's thumbnails instead of a screenshot from the show. Nobody noticed, so out went the DVDs, but only in Europe. They weren't released anywhere else.
It's still weird, but it's still kind of funny.
It is very funny.
Where do you want me to sign?
I also found this while scrolling Reddit one day. It seems the same thing happened again, this time on Google TV's version of the show. This time featuring Dr. Wolf again, Silverquill, and Firebrand, or Josh Scorcher, or the Fiery Joker, or all of them are prominent members of the old MLP analysis community on YouTube. You'll see them around every once in a while. The Game Grumps also make an appearance in the background of Season 8. Nobody really talks about this one, probably because Walter White and Rick and Morty are in the same episode, and they sort of steal the spotlight, I guess, but your guess is as good as mine. They denied it. So that's just a regular background pony who shares no resemblance to any real person. Okay, let's wrap this up. Cozy Glow was heavily inspired by Shirley Temple. Photo Finish's design heavily resembles the iconic editor-in-chief of Vogue magazine, Anna Wintour. Hoity Toity's character design is strongly reminiscent of the late German fashion designer Karl Lagerfeld. I had to go back and pronounce it correctly. I'm also like 99% convinced Twilight's dad is based off Nathan Fillion.
I hate the homeless. And this problem that plagues our city.
You see, he's blue because Nathan Fillion played a cop in The Rookie. And I don't know if you really count this one since it's debated whether or not he's real, but Jesus Christ himself is tucked away in the background at the end of A Heartwarming Tale for like 3 seconds. The funniest thing about this is that he's actually just a recolor of the Dude pony. This one isn't a joke. Go look at the episode. He's really there. So, to recap, Jesus from the Bible is a recolor of the Dude from The Big Lebowski, but that's not to be confused with Jesus from The Big Lebowski that's also in My Little Pony. It's only a little bit confusing. Finally, the Hooffields and McCoults from the Season 5 episode, The Hooffields and McCoults, are based off the Hatfields and the McCoys, 2 real families from the 1800s who did a whole lot of unaliving each other. It's become something of a folk story in the United States and has been reduced to retellings of their feud in cartoons nowadays. It was even featured in a Ben 10 reboot in an episode called Them's Fightin' Words. Like, Them's Fightin' Herds, the video game based on MLP, which features Tara Strong as a voice actor. But Tara Strong is also the voice of Twilight Sparkle. Wait a minute. Tara Strong, Twilight Sparkle, TS. Is Twilight Sparkle actually Tara Strong? Wait a minute, the signatures. It all makes sense now. Hold on, look who else signed the page. It's Burton! Also hit the like button. I forgot to put that in the script. Yeah, you should do that. Go do that right now. Okay, bye.
Banana.
Meow, 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 meow.